Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
So again, this is the Apache NetBeans. So first of all, what we're going to do is, let me clear first yung mga naka-open na mga files, okay? So what we're going to do first is to create a uh, new file, okay? So to do that, you can go to File, and then you can go to New Project. Take note this, we are using Apache NetBeans for IDE, okay? So we go to Java with Ant, and then go for Java application, and then we just click next, and then okay, we can, for here we can just use we can have, for the project name we'll have inheritance, okay, and then as you can see here, I have already checked the create main class. So upon creating the project, or the project upon creating the file, it will also be creating an main class for us. So just click finish. Okay. So as you can see here, we are now on our page. Okay, nakita nyo, we have your package inheritance. You have your class here, class name, and then we have also have our main method. Okay. As you can all see, for the class, usually the first letter of the class name is always in capitalized. This is to avoid us from having conflicts or naming our class name the same with a keyword in Java. So to avoid uh, duplications or avoid problems, it's better to have the first letter of your class name in capital letter. Okay, so also you have here your uh, your main method. So as you can see, if I'm going to print hello and then run it. So to run it, we have here, or shortcut is F6. So as you can see, you have your output hello. Okay, but that's not what we came for here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we'll try to create a new class. Okay, so to create a new class, what we'll do is go to your uh, projects, yeah, and then right click, or doon sa on your package, that one, on your project icon, yung the cup with the hot coffee, right click on that one, and then there's the new, click, go on new, and then go to Java class. So we'll be creating a new Java class. Okay, so now for this new Java class, let's name it Shoot. Okay, so and then uh, take note, this project is still under the package of inheritance. So just click finish. So as you can see, you now have a new class. Okay, take note, you also here have now have here your new uh this one. You have a new file named uh Java. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we'll try to add some uh, attributes to our class. So let's say we'll have uh, public ops, and it's for the brand, and then let's have for the size. And for the size, I think we can just can have to use double, because there are some shoe sizes that use yung mga numbers. So we'll use, you can see, so this is how we create or add attributes. Okay? Simple as that. Parang nag-a-add lang tayo ng variables. Okay? So, the next thing we're going to do is uh, let's try to create a method. Okay? Let's try creating a method. So, for our method, uh, let's have our method. Mm, let's have our okay. Our method, let's have our method. Ano, can you give ano magandang method for a shoe? Na lang din ulit. Okay? So, and then we'll add some parameters. Okay? So, this time around, okay. So, with this, okay. So, with this, you have now created an attribute, two attributes, and then we also have a method. Okay? Now, we'll try to incorporate uh, constructors on our program. So, 'di ba? Usually constructors are used have your parameters the same with the value on passing the value of the parameters to the attributes. So, add parameters, you just have to doon sa open sa on our method, just have to add. For this one, you have string, and then uh, global size. Okay. So now you have your parameters. Okay. So every time we have to use the shoe method, we have to indicate the brand and the uh, size of the shoe. Okay. So this time around, what we'll do is we'll be assigned. Take note, we just place the parameter. We haven't assigned the parameter to the attributes that we have. So to do that, as you can see, we will now use or will give brand equals to the brand parameter. Now, the problem here is that using this code, we'll have there's a confusion within the code because the compiler will now have a problem on understanding which brand are we talking about. Are we talking the brand, the parameter, or the brand, the field? Okay. Now, to this to solve this problem, we now use the this function. Okay, so as you can see, this brand. So, oops, that one. So as you can see here, okay, so we have now distinguished that the brand we're talking about is the attribute brand by adding this to uh your attribute name. It has now specified that we are talking about this brand, not the parameter brand. Okay? And the brand that we haven't included the this keyword refers to the brand parameter. So now, so if you're going to say, okay, this, and then as you can see, when we use this, it has now given us the attributes that we have for our method. So your size, right? And now assign it to size. Okay. And now since we are using void as our return type, okay, we will not be returning anything. Okay, we just have set the or we can just name this uh, set shoe. Okay, to set the value for the value for the attributes of the shoe that we have. Oh, so we now have the method. So how are we going to access these methods? Now you have to go back to your main class. here we'll have to instantiate or create a new instance of that class. So we'll now have shoe, let's say s equals new, okay? Oops, second. I'm having an error. So wait. Okay. So what happened is you can what happened is that when we created the ano kanina, when we created the class, it was outside of the package nung inheritance. That's why I have to put it back doon sa loob so that makita niya yung class natin. Okay? So as you can see, no, when I moved that inside doon sa package ni inheritance, nawala na yung error natin. But also, if you don't want to include that, the other way for that is to just simply import the class doon sa taas. Okay? If you encounter or you have a similar problem with that, you can just import it if ayaw niyo siyang ipasok dun sa loob ng package ng ah, ano natin, project natin. Okay? So now we have created a new instance which is called S. So now, if we're going to let's say print or call S that, as you can see, when I place that, I am able to see the things that I can do in our class. I can see here the brand or I can output the brand and the size. Also, I can use the set shoe method. Okay. So let me use the set shoe method. Okay. And then let's okay, then we'll have this one as we'll call this one 9. And then for the size, let's have the size as let's say 8.5. Okay. So now we are able to set the value for our attributes. Okay. So now if I'm going to system out, okay, let's say this will be the let's say the brand, and then don't forget to concatenate it, and then we'll use s dot okay, brand. So as you can see, if I'm going to run this one, it would give us brand Nike. Okay? So so what happens there is that when we call s.set method, the values that we set on our parameters here, what's the value of these parameters are now transferred to these attributes that we have. So now we can call these attributes anytime we want to see what are the values that are stored in them. Also, this can be used later on if we're going to create an if an subclass has inherited the superclass, so those subclass can also access whatever the value of this attribute is. Okay? So later on we'll do that. So for now, klaro pa 'to dito? Okay? So this is a simple way on how to create attributes, methods, and a class. Okay?